One city, one government, one voice. This is the current slogan of DC Mayor Vincent Gray and his district council. But the redevelopment of neighborhoods like Ivy City in DC is a complex process full of much contradiction. The people who are best placed to address issues of community redevelopment are, of course, the community members themselves. But they are not often heard from, and it is often assumed that they need to be educated rather than listened to. Who is excluded from this one city, this one government, and this one voice? Where have the many voices of this diverse city gone? Are they left out of the rhetoric of revitalization?
Well, the context of this meeting is to solicit information and guidance for the district to ultimately find a reuse for the school site. So it could be a charter school, it could be a mix of uses, and it could be disposed of under a series of different formats where it's a ground lease structure or it's disposed of fee simple. So we're looking at all options and all I guess, context for discussion at this point in time. So we're really looking to the community at this point for guidance.
How many residents do I have here now from Ivy City? No, Ms. Velma's here, so it's one. Okay, and everybody else is a developer or from an agency, and we have 2 graduates from the school.
This can be a beacon to the whole entire city. Crummell School, if you just look at that site and you see where it has been positioned geographically, it says something for the whole entire city. So I just hope we'll keep on moving forward and complete that.
You know, because as a person growing up in the city and growing up in this area, I know what is needed, and nothing has changed. Even when I was a kid, nothing has changed. So it's still a vital usage for us to use in this city. And what I see is that a lot of people come in not knowing what the city is, really got to understand what this area imposed.
That school is pretty big. So you can have a lot of different programs ran in there at the same time. Drug treatment programs, after school programs. You can have a computer lab in there like Trinidad Recreation Center, job training. Like, so you can have a lot of things in there because we have a lot of people around here that need stuff like that. I don't understand why it really has taken this long for somebody to actually come out and say they want something to happen to this neighborhood, when this neighborhood has been pretty much forgotten for about almost 30 years. And nobody did anything for 30 years. Trinidad got a new recreation center around there just a few years ago, and it's pretty much tore down right now. I mean, you know, they look over this neighborhood. It's always been looked over. So I don't understand. I mean, I'm trying to understand why. Is it you trying to put new construction around here like townhomes and condos and stuff like that to move the people that's from here out of here, so other people can come into this neighborhood, and then you start to beautify the neighborhood, and these people that was living and trying to fight for some of these things that's trying to happen now, these people gonna be gone. So I'm understanding, is that the real reason why somebody is trying to come and do something to this neighborhood now? Because it seems like that's what's happening right now.
Well,
to me, because I mean, not to cut you off, because the mayor came around here right when he got elected, and he said that this was going to happen. He's going to start doing this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and he didn't do anything he said he was going to do.
For me, I don't need a title. I just want things done,
right.
And I think that's one main reason why I became advisory neighborhood commissioner.
Right.
So this part right here, I just want it done. I want something realistic to say I can start. We can start. It's not just about me. The community can start, because from what I'm getting from this, everybody wants something done. And I know I'm going to have the same, maybe 5 or 10 people from the community that's going to help me, which is fine.
Who is helping the community? While residents were waiting for some action on Crummell School, non-profit developers working on the Ivy City Special Demonstration Project organized an information session in collaboration with Empower DC. Representatives from MANA, Habitat DC, and Mikasa encouraged potential new home buyers to live the dream and experience the pleasure of home ownership. They were told that if they'd only listen and learn, it could all be theirs.
You can't say that I didn't open up the door of opportunity for you. Understand what I'm saying? When the door is open, one must step through it. Otherwise, you won't get the benefit of the pleasures on the other side. Because you won't believe how many people, mothers especially, that I talk to, and I say, The meeting is in the evening. It starts at 6:30 and it goes until 8 o'clock. Oh, I can't come. I have to pick my kids up. You know, they got to eat. I got homework and all. I'll say, guess what? I have somebody who's going to watch your kids for you and feed them. You can bring their homework, and all you have to do is sit in the meeting and open your ears and listen. Now, what's the next excuse? You know, there's just something very special about being totally in control of painting whatever color you want to paint and being able to have no one on the face of this earth who can tell you when to move or what to do. There's just some incredible intrinsic pleasure. And my life's work is helping people have that pleasure of owning their own homes.
So the first phase that is now 100% complete and ready for move-in are the 8 affordable condos, affordable to folks who earn below 40% of the area median income and 50%. And we have flyers that tells you exactly what that income level is. We're all doing something a little bit different. Habitat and Mana, it's all a partnership so that we can bring back Ivy City.
Okay, so Habitat's selection process, their application process, is based on 3 criteria. And that's need for improved housing, which if you came to this meeting, you clearly have. You're unable to purchase on the conventional market probably. The second is ability to pay. So we're looking for credit-worthy candidates. We're not looking for people with perfect credit, but we are looking for people that have shown a history of making their payments on time. We're also asking for a $500 down payment. And then the third piece is willingness to partner with our organization. And that is probably one of the most unique aspects of the Habitat program is the sweat equity hours that you put in towards the construction or rehab of your house and the home ownership education that you're asked to enroll in to learn about money management skills, how to maintain your credit after moving into your house and maintaining your house.
I need you to know my concern is there something in place because of the economy and with the downside, with economic downside, if a person gets in and just say happen they lose their job because of funding, what is in place? What will be the next step for that individual? You go into quote unquote the affordable housing and then they lose their jobs.
What is available support for folks after they purchase and then they have difficulty? There isn't anything out there to really directly support folks. When you are a homeowner, it is a little different than rent. You just can't get up and move when you're having trouble. So homebuyer training, helping people think through and build up some reserves. People that get behind on their mortgage, there are support programs, counseling, but there's not money to plug in to help.
Almost a year has passed since community members were given a chance to tell city officials and developers what they would like to see done with Crummell School and how this would contribute to the revitalization of the community. Will their wishes be listened to and respected? Developers have moved forward with their plans for the special demonstration project and celebrated their progress at the groundbreaking held at one of Mana's construction sites. Out of all the speakers, Parisa Naruzi of Empower DC was the only person to bring up the subject of Crummell School and its importance as part of redevelopment efforts.
This is an auspicious year. 2011 is 100 years from the year that the Ivy City Civic Association was formed.
Give them a big hand, yes!
It was one of the first African-American civic associations in the city, and they formed to better advocate for their own needs in this community, foremost the Alexander Crummell School, which was also built in 1911. So this is the 100-year anniversary of the school and the year that I hope we will finally see its rebirth. Folks have been fighting for that for decades. They want a multi-use center that uplifts the neighborhood in honor of its namesake, the Reverend Dr. Alexander Crummell, one of the leading people of his time that really sought to uplift African Americans.
But more than just citing numbers, it is important to be able to be a city that says to those who want to continue to live in the city that you will be able to live here even though you may be economically and financially challenged. And that's precisely what this project is about. It's about creating affordable housing. It's about giving those who have been in the city for so many years a chance to stay here. And it's about providing a catalyst for the development of mixed income housing across our community. So I see the nexus to one city. The nexus is, let's continue to develop what we can downtown so that we can generate the resources to be able to come out and do these kinds of things in Ivy City.
We ask you, God, to help the vision of a one city, one community come together even more as we move forward. And we ask you for sure to bless these new homebuyers that are here. They are the reason that we're here. And we thank you for it, and we thank you for this time, and we make this prayer in your name. Amen.
Amen. And I am very excited to be one of the new homeowners for the new Ivy City community. How I heard about the project is working actually through Empowerment DC, attending as many meetings as possible and trying to get more information to take back to the resident of my community. I will now be a homeowner for the Ivy City project.
I'm going to ride with that.
And I feel very exciting.
Because that's what it's all about, community. Being part of the community and continuing the hard work. I want to thank my council member, Mayor Gray, for continuing the efforts in Ivy City, and Trinity Baptist Church for always opening their doors to us to have a meeting and to be partners of this community. Let this not be your last time in this community. Let's continue the work. Thank you.
The DC Department of Real Estate Services conducted a public hearing to receive public comments on the proposed surplus of Crummell School. A number of public school buildings are being deemed surplus by the city and then sold to private developers. This particular meeting took place just over a week before the Manna groundbreaking event. The only notice given was put in the DC Register. The name Crummell School was hidden in brackets, buried underneath the obscure title, Notice of Public Meetings Regarding Surplus Resolutions Pursuant to DC Official Code 10801. DC Official Code 10801 is an act authorizing the sale of certain real estate in the District of Columbia no longer needed for public purposes. As a result of the lack of publicity for the event, no one found out about it until the day of. Only a few residents were able to make the meeting. The meeting was a shambles and blew up into a heated argument. Was this an attempt to take away public property from the Ivy City community, just days before city officials flocked to the Manna event to show their support for the revitalization of the community?
You're Miss Manning, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so right before you walked in, we talked about the May 2010 hearing, meeting. The meeting at which it was promised that there would be an interim use.
That's right. Okay. I wanted to explain to everybody.
So the interesting thing is that you're asking the Department of Real Estate Services to tell you what their plan is when you're the ANC that hosted that meeting that was having the formed committees. That form committees.
I did not host that meeting.
But that's what I wanted you to
No,
clarify.
that's not how you approach it. No.
This is how you can clarify. The way the statute is written, it's noticed through the ANCs. So
we know, I know that. But
so
that's
if
why
they didn't do their job, then we need to ask them to reschedule this hearing.
You know what? This is ridiculous.
This
meeting was at the last meeting.
Probably just need to figure out a way to reschedule this so you can get more people to come out. Because this can't be a
well, you cannot get nobody. People in this neighborhood is not going to come to this meeting because they'll never get no results.
Neighborhoods like Ivy City have been some of the hardest hit by the foreclosure and housing crisis. Can there be forms of revitalization in this neighborhood, like affordable home ownership projects, that will not lead to further displacement of residents from the community? Despite the often empty rhetoric of city officials, there is still hope among some that Ivy City will be revitalized. Will this ever be more than a dream?
I think that there is a lot of potential in Ivy City. I mean, not just not just on the aesthetic side of, here we are redeveloping the bricks and mortar and the houses are looking better, but also in terms of maybe the spirit of the place, that people feel optimistic again that something is happening in their community. Maybe because of where Ivy City is, because it is sort of an enclave and it is sort of set off from other areas. It's not too far from H Street and the redevelopment happening there, and it's not too far from the New York Avenue metro station, but it's just far enough. And so, maybe this is idealistic, but it may be that it's the kind of redevelopment that happens gradually enough that it continues to include the people who live here, ideally, and that they continue to shape the redevelopment and the future of the neighborhood, so that it doesn't, become inaccessible for people who already live here.
Revitalization without displacement, right? To uplift the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.